Right, hey guys. I figured before I button things up, I show the next project I did here with the washdown quick connect from Jabsco. This is a 2021 F300 Yamaha, but just like all motors, there's an access port to do your washdown, which is always hard to get to, especially if you have two engines and you're on a boat lift. It's a little dangerous to get out there and hook it up. So to simplify things, what I did is I took what I'm going to do is go through and show you the different things I bought and what I did to make this work. But the goal was to get a flush down port instead of being here, somewhere where I can reach it. And I didn't want to add a bunch of extra hoses laying about, so I ran a hose through the conduit provided by Yamaha. I would believe there was actually a little space in there, so I was able to get it through. And now my new washdown port is over here. Okay, so I haven't fastened it down yet, but basically you take this end on your hose, put this in here, turn it, it pushes down a check valve. And the check valve is there to prevent water that's pressurized from the water pump on your motor from coming out. Okay, so yeah, there could be a point of failure on the check valve, but what's the difference if you've got that versus something that you screw on? Because as you know, this right here is just a block. All it is a plug, and you'd have a hose on here with a barb and then just a zip tie, and that's the way Yamaha sets it up from the factory. So basically all it's doing here is extending that hose and putting it into a spot where I can actually easily reach from the dock. Right now I have the boat turned around, so it's with a plank and all that, but that's not how it works when you get back from boating. You're tired and you just want to flush your engine and be done with it. So here's what I did to make this work. I'll show you some of the parts. So like I said, this is the Jabsco. I'll put there's the model number right here. Comes with the port, which is here, and then we'll call it the dongle that goes in here that you turn. Okay, so that, I think that's like maybe $90. Now they make these for primarily, when you find them online, they're for flushing out septic or doing waste removal. So there is a check valve in here. They kind of have it working both ways, but there is a check valve in here. I'm sorry, it's on this end, that threads out. So you take this check valve out because you want the water to go out of this, and then when you push, or when you twist and lock this in here, it pushes this check valve down, right? And that's what gets your water. You can see there's water coming out when I push it down. That's what gets the check valve to open, or the valve to open in this case. And then, so we have this set up here. And then what I did is I basically went to the local hardware store, and this is a 1/2 inch National Pipe Thread NPT to a 3/8 inch barb, a couple zip ties. Got my hole drilled. I think it was a 1.5 inch hole saw. Remember, if you do drill into gel coat, go in reverse, go slow. And then of course the holes here that I put in for the screws are reamed out. You can use the tip of your screwdriver bit on your drill and just kind of work the gel coat out of the holes, so that way you don't get any cracking when you put your screws in. Okay, so I'll silicone this baby down. I could use like 4200 or 5200, but I'm just going to use silicone in the event that I need to get to it, so it's not permanently in there. So now we've got this hose, this black hose. This is an inside diameter equivalent to a 3/8 inch. Okay, Where to find this hose, a little questionable, but the goal is 3/8 inch diameter, but you don't want a thick-walled hose, okay? Because, and you're gonna need about 8 feet in this case to get from here to the engine, okay? So that hose goes down. I'll show you from inside the boat here what it looks like underneath. Okay, so it's here's the hose right here. Goes right up through the conduit with all the other lines, the fuel lines, power lines, and what have you, whatever's rigged from Yamaha, and then it goes through this tube. You can see once you take all these collaring pieces off, you can get to it, and what you'll notice is there's actually a blank spot. So I'll be wrapping this up, but this is the water hose. Fits in there real nicely, so I'm going to button this up, but I figured I'd show you before I put it together. And then the connection point, like I said, the hose used to come down to here. What I did is I just basically took off the zip tie on the barb, pulled it through, and now this hose didn't cut it or anything. I have it basically barbed into my black hose. Okay, so 3/8 inch hose barb fittings on both sides, a couple zip ties, and that's about it. I mean, the only other thing I could think to be fail-safe on this is you know, maybe adding another check valve, but you know, worst case scenario, if you are out running and you notice a water pressure issue, and if it's related to the valve, it'll start coming out of there. But you know, what's the difference? The only thing I can think of is, you know, maybe keep a spare 3/8 inch barb plug in your boat in the event that you have an issue. At least you could pop it off and plug the hose, because the whole idea is this is a pressurized hose. When you're running, it's normally blocked by this, right? So when you've got your barb hooked up, you'd have an open end if you did have a connection issue and a leak, so you'd want to be able to plug it when you're out there. But I think the chances are pretty minimal. I did this on a previous boat, didn't have an issue. So this is a new boat, so I figured, you know, let's do this and make life a little bit easier. And that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button if you like it. Thank you.